Hey everybody, David the AI Guide here. Welcome to another episode. Will there ever be full self-driving? So we're going to follow up on the last video about Tesla, but before we do that, check out those links below. One is my book on Amazon, The Beginner's Guide to AI, History of AI and Current Impact on 10 Different Industries. Super fast read, a couple of hours. And the other is your free AI resource. Why? So that you can be prepared for the coming wave of automation. Again, this channel is targeted to 18 to 34-year-olds. You're the vast bulk of my audience, and there's a reason for that. The reason is automation will impact your career more than anything else that happens. So be prepared for it. Click the link below, get that resource, and that will allow you to participate in my beta course, the AI Safe Career Pivot, which will help you transition to a career that is relatively AI safe. And in the last video, I mentioned one of those careers. So if you watch, well into the Tesla video, you'll find out what career is relatively AI safe. So thanks again for tuning in, and here we go. We're following up on the last video. So there's this whole cluster of technology that is in front of autonomous vehicles, and it's called ADAS, Advanced Driver Assistance Systems, ADAS. And that is a broad term for a bunch of different technologies. Optical cameras, radar, LiDAR, etc., all designed to assist drivers with driving. Those include lane keeping or staying in your lane or giving you a warning if you drift lanes, automatic emergency braking, adaptive cruise control, and proximity monitors. These are technologies that are now in 96% of vehicles, one or more, as of 2020. So almost every vehicle made today here in 2022 has ADAS. And they have to perfect these technologies in order to make autonomous vehicles work. So there are certain conditions that are exceptionally difficult for ADAS. What are those? Rain, snow, fog, ice. These present big challenges to the systems at the exact time that the driver most needs them, right? I mean, when you can barely see because it's snowing so hard, you would love to have one of these systems help you drive, but that's when they fail too. How often do these technologies fail? Far more than you or I would think. And that's one of the things that was really interesting about this article. And this article is courtesy of Automotive World. I'll put the link below, hat tip to Automotive World. If you like cars, Automotive World is great. Automotive researchers found that over the course of only 4,000 miles traveled, vehicles' driver assistance systems experienced a failure every 8 miles or less on average. That means that your ADAS fails on your way to work for most people and on your way home for most people. So that's not very reliable yet. This is a serious issue. Now, these ADASs are in two broad categories. There's perception, which is observing people or cars around, like for automatic braking, and localization, which is where exactly is your car? Is it in the correct lane? And again, they use cameras, radar, GPS, and LiDAR for these ADAS systems. Well, with cameras, as you might guess, when you're traveling at speed down the highway and it's snowing or there's ice or rain, it's going to get on the surface of that camera and fog is bad too. LiDAR, which is exceptionally expensive, and a lot of the automakers are targeting LiDAR for use on automated vehicles, has the exact same failures that optical cameras do. So those two are not helpful for solving this problem for each other. Automotive radar is a third one, still extremely limited in penetration depth and still sensitive to snow and ice buildup. So this is none of these technologies fix the other's weaknesses. And even GPS is too inaccurate for using for lane keeping assistance. And we all know that, right? When we're using Waze or Google Maps or Apple Maps to drive somewhere, the signal will drop when you go behind a hill, or you're in a city between buildings, or you go through a tunnel. So these technologies have real limitations, and they cannot correct for the failures among each other yet. And obviously, these kind of bad driving conditions are a high safety impact use case for ADAS technologies. So where does that leave us? 80% of drivers want their current vehicle systems to work better than they do. And these ADAS are gateway technologies for autonomous vehicles. So autonomous vehicles can't happen fully, at least except in Phoenix, until these problems are solved, which, by the way, is why AVs are licensed in Phoenix, and they haven't really tried it too many other places except now San Francisco. The worst thing is these failures are the first impression that people get of technologies that will enable autonomous driving, which makes them fear that. So what they're doing now is looking for new technologies that they can fuse into the current sensor stack to make it work better. What is one of those? Ground penetrating radar. This technology, since it's under the car, will work even when it's snow or ice, and is good for telling you that you're still in your lane or even on the road, right? Because if it's really snowing hard enough, you can lose the road surface completely. So they really have to look for more of these technologies to unlock the potential of these systems. There are other technologies that are being developed right now that still have limitations to clear these sensors instead of replacing them. What are we talking about? We're talking about heaters, but these heaters have problems that interfere with the performance of these sensors as it stands today, but new technologies are coming out constantly that will address that issue. And maybe we'll talk about that next time, because I happen to know a lot about that right now. So ADAS has a way to go. AVs have a way to go. We know from the last video about Tesla and this video that there's still many challenges to overcome to get to autonomous vehicles, or even to get these ADAS systems to work properly. However, Automotive World says complete adoption of these technologies will save many lives, and it's well within reach. So autonomy will happen. What does that mean? That means that if you're a driver for a living, your occupation is at risk. Click the link below, get that AI resource, participate in my beta course. And also, of course, read the book so you can see what's coming and how many industries it's affecting already. So thanks so much for tuning in. We'll see you next week. And I really appreciate your viewership, your support, your subscribing. Let's keep bringing awareness of the human element of AI to the world. Take care, everybody.